Hello, thank you for joining us. We'll kick this off in just a moment. So welcome everyone. We're excited to have you join us for today's webinar, How We Do Use Case Management at CyberProof. I'm Yonit Tannenbaum and I'll be your moderator. Before we dive in, just a couple of housekeeping notes here. We encourage you to ask questions throughout the session using the Q&A panel. We'll do our best to address them either during the presentation or in the Q&A at the end. You'll see a few short polls during the presentation. Well, we love your input, so it helps us tailor the conversation and understand where you're coming from. And the session is being recorded. Both the recording and the slides will be made available to you afterward right here on Bright Talk. And lastly, you'll find attachments at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to download those at any time during the session. And we invite you to stay till the very end when we'll announce a valuable giveaway to the first 10 qualifying applicants. So I'm thrilled to introduce today's speakers, Sergey and Vlad. Sergey Novikov is a cybersecurity content director at CyberProof. He's responsible for the use case management, cyber threat detection, automation, advanced threat hunting, cyber threat intelligence, and other content-related development operations. Sergey has over 20 years of experience in the IT security industry, focusing on defensive security research, malware investigations, and security awareness. Prior to CyberProof, Sergey was leading a cyber research center at Novartis. And for more than 10 years, he was also managing the global research and analysis team at Kaspersky. Sergey has a PhD in information security and has a strong technical background in malware analysis and reverse engineering, together with leadership experience. His passion is cybersecurity and fighting cybercrime and cyber espionage. And Vlad Schwarzblatt has over 5 years of experience at CyberProof with a background in SIM platform management and content development. As the use case management team lead, he now leads a team of 14 cybersecurity experts and manages content deliverables for CyberProof's UCM enterprise customers. Vlad is responsible for overseeing security consulting, enhancing security content services, and driving the improvement of internal processes. Sergey, let's get started.
Yoni, thank you so much, and I really appreciate this beautiful introduction from your side, guys. Very happy to have you here with us at this Bright Talk webinar. And I really appreciate your time. And if you're like watching us live, you have a unique opportunity, first of all, to ask questions, to participate, to engage with us, maybe to provide your comments, or maybe even to argue. And then also we'll launch a couple of polls, as you need explained already. So you have this unique opportunity to engage with us on a kind of a live streaming webinar, which we're really enjoying. And for those of you who will watch it offline on demand, I also, from the bottom of my heart, I want to appreciate your interest and time. And I hope this webinar will be quite useful for you. So we're ready to start. Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. As you need to introduce me, my name is Sergey Novikov, and we'll go deep dive into what the use case management at CyberProof is. And several people, like again, salespeople, customers, even my friends, are asking, what do you guys mean by use case management? I mean, there's not such a kind of a defined terminology. And when we were preparing for this webinar, my good friend Unit from the marketing team at CyberProof, she asked me, like, do you have any kind of a reference or analogy to how can you explain it? And what we figured out with Vlad is that just a nice reference from my perspective. Just imagine you're at the very big international airport, and there are hundreds of people flowing through, all carrying bags, with someone connecting flights and others arriving from, like, I don't know, high risk destinations. Now picture if there were no predefined rules, or what to scan, which bags to open, or whom to pull aside. What is the result? The results, potential results, are missed threats, chaos, and reactive firefighting. That's exactly what cybersecurity would look like without the use case management. While, again, just like airport security uses intelligence driven screening protocols, I don't know, updated watch lists and kind of processes and policies, use case management ensures that your SIEM and SOC focus on the right threats at the right time and with the right logic behind them. That is again kind of my high level explanation. I hope it makes sense for you guys. And Unit, I don't know. Let's start the first poll to try to engage with our beautiful audience today. Hope you are still with us. So can you share the first poll, please?
Yes, absolutely. So what's your biggest challenge with use case management today? Is it the lack of internal expertise? Is it time and resource constraints? Poor alignment with business risks? Ineffective detection or alert fatigue? Or you just don't manage use cases yet? So please make your selection and then we'll discuss.
Yeah, we can wait for like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds max to get your answers. The thing is, again, we're just interested into your kind of biggest challenges. I'll share afterwards what do we see as the biggest challenges from our perspective, based on our communication interactions with different customers all over the world. But yeah, we're quite interested into what you see as your biggest challenge, and people are already started to answer, which again I really appreciate. So don't hesitate just to click and choose the something you think is more relevant for you guys. Um,
It's
and
a bit of a mix,
I don't
huh?
and I don't know. I At least on my side of this Bright Talk beautiful platform, I can't see how many people we have in the room, but we do have a couple of answers already. 10 more seconds. It's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Are you ready for Rumble? Several answers. I don't know. We can maybe close it or like wait a few more secs. Uh, Vlad, what do you think? So we have a bunch of answers. The winner so far is time and resource constraints as the biggest challenge with use case management. Interesting.
Yes, you're probably right. Maybe also poor alignment with business risks as well.
I mean, again, it's difficult to provide any comments so far, but it will be quite interesting to see what will be your answers on the next polls. But at least, again, from my perspective, when you're saying that the time consumption and kind of a lack of resources is, again, this is kind of an obvious reasons and obvious challenges, maybe to think whether to implement a proper uh, detection content strategy or to outsource this task or something else. And again, we'll talk about all those kind of challenges later on during this webinar. So guys, let's move on. And again, thank you very much for your answers. So how do we see the organizational challenges from a use case management perspective? And again, based on our conversations with many different customers all over the world. So many organizations, from what we see, are falling behind the evolving threats simply because the speed, and this is as easy as this, the speed and sophistication of attacks outpace traditional detection approaches and different security controls. At the same time, and there is often kind of an unclear risk-based prioritization, meaning teams struggle to decide which threats matter most to their business and where to focus their limited resources, as you answered in your poll. Another quite common problem is the lack of a unified detection strategy. So different teams might be working in silos, using different tools or frameworks, which creates gaps and sometimes duplication. This leads to limited visibility into detection coverage. In I don't know. In other words, you may have hundreds of rules in your SIEM or EDR or any other security control, but no clear understanding of which risks are actually covered or where the blind spots are, right? Um, and then it's about data ingestion is another pain point. Many organizations still rely on inefficient processes to bring in logs and telemetry, slowing down the response, and all of this contributes to kind of a reactive security posture. Well, where teams are constantly in catch up mode instead of proactively anticipating different threats. And finally, this all of those gaps create overload and fatigue of your security teams, who are trying to keep up with alerts, reporting, ad hoc detection developments, remediation practices, etc., etc. So these are the reasons why a structured, evolving approach like use case management is quite critical. And it helps bring clarity, prioritization, and measurable effectiveness back into the detection and response. And all of these steps will be covered in the next slides. So let's take a moment to explore how cyberproof use case management, or like as we call it, UCM, empowers organizations to strengthen their detection and response capabilities. At its kind of foundation, UCM is a consulting service that goes far beyond simple delivery of out of the box rules. Our approach is about aligning detection content with your specific business priorities, your regulatory compliance environments, and the constantly evolving threat landscape. You can think of UCM as a kind of a maturity model or pyramid, represented here, where each layer builds on the previous one to deliver a truly optimized detection program solution, whatever you guys want to call it. So starting from the base, we're starting with the onboarding. uh, this is where we establish the foundational processes, connecting with your teams, understanding your environments, and setting up workflows that will fit your needs. And Vlad will go deeper into the details of the entire methodology. Then at security baseline, we focus on creating a baseline of detection content that covers core risks relevant to your industry and compliance requirements. By tuning and maintenance, once the baseline is in place, we continuously working to fine tune rules, reduce false positives, and adapt to changes in your infrastructure, and of course evolving threat landscape. And then uh, the consulting layer, the core layer of the service, is about kind of a proactive guidance, helping you stay ahead of emerging threats, advising on detection gaps, and designing improvements to your program, analyzing your ingestions, logs, and so on and so forth. And finally, automation at the top of this kind of a maturity model or pyramid will help you unlock efficiency and scale through automation, identifying opportunities to streamline response and reduce manual effort. And on the right hand side, you can see some of the key service features that bring this pyramid to life. So altogether, to sum it up, use case management transforms detection from a reactive uh, ad hoc activity, kind of a spontaneous activity, into a strategic, value-driven capability that evolves with your business. And this is kind of the final statement, at least on this slide. And I think we are ready to move with the second poll, guys. Yonit?
Excellent. So how do we prioritize which use cases to develop? Is it based on threat intelligence or compliance requirements, incident history, MITRE gap analysis, or we just don't have a prioritization method right now?
And guys, again, the same. We would like you to vote. I'm trying to find in this beautiful, again, Bright Talk platform how to see those polls on my end. Yeah, I think I found it. Please vote. It's not that difficult, I hope. As soon as you're still watching us live. And for those guys who will watch us on demand, it's some kind of a statistics. And for us, at least for me, why I like this idea of polls, it's on top of the fact that we are trying to engage with our beautiful audience, then it gives us some kind of a hints. It gives us some kind of a vision where to prioritize our kind of a next focus and next slides, right? So when we are asking you about the prioritization of your like the detection rules or use cases you are developing, it's some kind of foundation for us to understand better our audience. So once again, your prioritize is based on threat intelligence, compliance, incident history, MITRE, gap analysis, or we don't have a prioritization method. And we do have several answers so far. I don't know, 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Maybe it's time to close the poll. Thank you for your votes. So 50% of our audience is saying that they're prioritizing development of the use cases based on threat intelligence. And I like me personally, I really like this approach. While again, which is interesting, and I appreciate your being honest with us, 25% of the audience saying that we don't have a prioritization method. And that's specifically where I addressed about like creating ad hoc detections, ad hoc kind of protection. This is exactly where unfortunately several customers are at the moment, and this is where we can help as a service provider. Again, guys, thank you very much for helping us and providing your insights and voting for the inside the poll. And Vlad, I think now it's the right time to go deep dive into the service to explain how do we operate, how do we work, what is the core methodology behind the service. So Vlad, the floor is yours, and you're moving the slides from one to another. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergey. So here on the slide, you can see our use case management methodology, which consists of a few steps. First, zero step is when we have access to the environment and integrations of all of our tools, mainly CTEM tools. Then all of the methodology is divided by layers. So we have a customer research, development of new content, and also some additional activities. It's all you can see, it's like a circle. So we do it again and again. But it all starts with infrastructure landscape assessment. So on this step, we collect all the existing technologies our customer has. Also, sensitive entities, crown jewels, and attack history. This all like a supportive information that will help us in the future to build our detection and provide better service. Next step is data ingestion analysis. So we make sure what is ingested into the SIEM and whether it has the right format that is required for our rules. Step number 3 is detection assessment. So mostly consists of existing rules analysis where we just make sure that all of the existing rules are effective. And step number 4 is standardization of all of those rules into our CyberProof standards. So it's mainly naming convention, and also we are mapping everything to MITRE. Finally, we move to building a threat profile, where we have our CTEM tool that builds this threat profile by having a combination of the following things. First of all, these are the relevant threat actors, campaigns they have performed in the past, risks and vulnerabilities of the organization, MITRE gap analysis. And I want to stop a little bit on MITRE gap analysis to explain what exactly it is. So we have this MITRE framework, which consists of all the potential techniques that can be performed today in the cybersecurity. By taking all of those techniques, we are building a matrix where each technique is presented as a cell, and then on top of this matrix, we are mapping customer existing rules. So what is covered today and what's not. This gives us an option to see the gaps, and then to prioritize them by the relevance to specific customer. Once this customer research layer is completed, we move on to development of new content. Implementation stage. We'll start with implementing of our baseline rules that exist stored in our repository. This is the most important rules that are relevant to all the different customers who have the right telemetry in place. On top of it, we add out-of-the-box rules in case they do not duplicate something from our baseline, and of course, customer-specific requirements as well. After we finish step number 6, we go to creation of use case management roadmap, which is tailored content creation based on priority that was recently provided from the CTEM. Also, we have a cross-team detection development, where we have our threat intelligence team, 2 main activities of rules coming from them. First one is curated threat intelligence report, which is mostly presented by pre-5 the most relevant threat actors that can target specific customer. Then what has happened, they provide us all the techniques, all the capabilities of this threat actor. So then we build a small specific MITRE matrix that consists only of those threat actor capabilities, and on top of it, we gain mapping existing coverage from what customer has today, which give us an option to see gaps against this specific threat actor. We provide those gaps back to CTI team, so they have performed an additional deep research of those techniques, shared it back to us, so then we can build specific detections to make sure we are totally covered as much as possible from this specific threat actor. So, for example, if there was some command and control technique missing, we will receive information what exact command was performed by this group to build the relevant detections that will detect this specific command once it was performed by somebody. So this can make us sure we are protected from this group. Also, on top of it, we have weekly content shared by the CTI team, where they, on a weekly basis, provide us a report of what interesting activities, what happened in the cybersecurity world in the past week. This report is analyzed by our MDR team, and they can come up with some suggestions. For example, there was some new activity never seen before. We need to detect it as soon as possible. This comes to us as a request for new rule creation. So such type of additional content we provide to all of our customers. Also, we are working closely with the threat hunting team. So when they are doing their hunts and they can detect something true positive, they come into us providing all the details of this incident. So based on this, we also build our detections. And finally, we also have some proposals directly from the MDR team. When they have something, they also shared it with us. So all of those ideas we are collecting to build our content. Once we develop something, we move to test stage when we implement the rule and keep it without alerting for 7 days. And after this time, we share the result of the test with MDR team so they can approve whether it fit their bandwidth. Once they approve some rule, we move it to production, and also it's getting added to our repository. This is a step of development of new content. After this, we move to additional activities. First is rules fine-tuning. So we have tuning dashboards, which shows us the most common entities that was triggered by different rules. For example, if some IP or some user was triggered many times by many different rules, we will quickly see it on our dashboard, so we can make a decision whether it's something that should be whitelisted just because it's noisy. Also, we are following all the MDR requests. In terms of fine-tuning, they're coming a lot to us as well. And step 13 is a regular rule health check, which is something we perform twice a year. So every 6 months, we review all the rules that have not triggered anything in the last 6 months, just to make sure it's really have not happened and the rule is still effective. By making sure all of our rules are fine, we can basically make sure with our current coverage and focus on coverage new techniques. And finally, we create some custom dashboards based on the requests from the customer and other teams. So it's also in our scope. And as you may see, this is like a circle activity. So we're not doing just one time, we're doing it again and again. So having that said, I think we can move to the next slide with a poll. Yes, Yonit, would you like to mention it?
Yes. All right. So how often do you review or update your detection use cases? Is it monthly or more often, quarterly, annually, only after an incident, or never? So let's wait a few moments and we'll keep the poll open for a little bit.
Guys, my role today is to push you to vote. And it's it's some kind of a very independent voting system called Bright Talk. So just choose the right answer. Vlad, while again we're waiting and waiting for people to vote, if I may ask, it's first of all, thank you for sharing this holistic methodology. But you mentioned like this testing process and so on and so forth. But like, how do you make sure that your rule actually works, that it detects something? Like what is the thought process behind, and how you like finally confident that you need to deploy the rule?
Thank you, Sergey. That's an excellent question. We can divide all the rules by categories based on how exactly they has to be tested. Most of the rules we can test by just seeing this activity in customer environment, and that's easy. Second layer, second category, I would say it's a bit more complicated, but still pretty easy to test, is when we don't have this activity, but we can quickly simulate it. For example, user account created and deleted in short time frame, we can just request customer to create some dummy account and delete it, so then we can make sure that our rule captures this activity. And finally, the most complex, the most hard to test category of the rules is some specific attacks. So for such rules, we have a test environment where we have Linux machine and Windows machine, and we perform this activity in this test environment by having Caldera running this attack from Linux, and then on Windows machine we can see like this activity, and then it is getting collected by our test team. So all the rules of such type are tested there.
Cool. Thank you for this. Thank you for answering my question. And back to Paul.
We
Once
closed
again,
the poll. So.
we closed the poll. Thank you. So I don't need to count again and again. So we do have some answers, and they're equal. Thanks for your votes. Vlad, any comments behind? So 33% says monthly or more often, 33% quarterly, and 33% annually. You're like making fun of us. It's okay. We understand this. Not a big deal. The good thing here is that no one says never. That's I want to appreciate, and as meaning that we have a very quality audience today. Vlad, any other comments?
I'm also happy that all of our audience didn't pick never, because it's really something that has to happen. Even if you have the rule in place, you need to make sure this rule is still effective by regularly checking it. Even if it's silent, it doesn't mean that this activity never happened. You need to make, because sometimes vendors can change their schemas, or some updates can come out, so you need to on a regular basis make sure that your rules are still effective.
Exactly. Vlad, thanks for this, and let's move on. We do have a couple of case studies, right? So Vlad, let's continue.
Sure. Thank you, Sergey. So when I was presenting methodology, I said that we have a priority score. So you probably been interested how exactly it looks like. So we have a C10 tool, which has statistical calculation on the back end by prioritizing all the techniques, MITRE techniques, for the specific customer. And here on the slide, you can see that we have top 10 most relevant techniques. It's a real customer example. Previous quarter and the current quarter results. So by having these statistics, we really focused on the most important techniques that has to be covered for a specific customer. You can see that we also know not just cover this technique once, but to provide enough content based on the available telemetry. So each type of telemetry will require its specific rule to be covered. So we combine it all together to make sure this technique is fully covered. This is I wanted to say about this case study. I think we can move on to the second one. Thank you. So in addition, we have a collaboration with our CTI team for the specific threat groups. So the difference with the previous one and this one is quality approach and quantity approach. So when the previous approach was more like a quantity one, when we collect many different threat actors together and their capabilities, this more quality one, when we focus on one specific threat group and divided all of their capabilities into such a MITRE matrix that you can see on the screen. Then, as I told, on top of it, we are marking what is already monitored in our system by having it with the green and red cells. These are areas that has to be covered. Of course, not everything is possible to cover within the SIEM. So you can see some of the cells are highlighted with a cross. So it's just not possible to monitor them. Also, some of them are just not relevant to the customer. For example, 1538 is a AWS technique that was performed in AWS environment. This specific customer doesn't have AWS logs at all. They don't use their services, so this is not relevant for them. Also, we have some techniques that are still in progress that require some additional effort from the customer. For example, I want to say a few words about 12.13. We have two sub-techniques, 002 and 003. So first one, 002, is about SharePoint uh, SharePoint activities. So this scatter spider group, they dig into SharePoint of the victim, trying to search for some sensitive information. And it's really complicated to detect such kind of activity in the real environment, because all of the employees are using SharePoint, everybody downloads documents, accessing documents, so it's really a nightmare to monitor when it's really malicious activity. But we came out with a suggestion of building like a honeypot document, something called the most important passwords, sensitive passwords, list of admins, something like this. We store this in their SharePoint environment, and now we only have one detection that monitor when somebody is accessing this document in the SharePoint. It's much easier, and I'm 99% sure if some bad actor will have access to the SharePoint, they will not miss this one. They will definitely try to see what is inside. They will download it, and here our rule will trigger it. Also, 003 is related to GitHub capabilities. So we have figured out that this log source was not yet connected to the SIEM. So we suggested to our customer connection of this log source. They are now working on it. Once it will be connected, we will implement the whole set. We have a pretty nice set of the GitHub rules to monitor not just this one specific activity, but everything that can potentially happen in GitHub. Also, some of the rules were already created. You can see them on the right-hand side. But this is an example of how do we research a specific threat group and make sure that our customers are totally protected against them. Thank you. So next case study is a cost optimization. This is also type of activity we can provide as part of our service. So we have a customer that was using Splunk before. Splunk is really a good SIEM, maybe even the best one we have today on the market, but the problem is it is really expensive. By having this customer really Google-based, we have suggested them to move to Google SecOps, Chronicle SIEM, and we have performed an MVP for them. So we have connected four most important log sources. So just to show them in general how it can work, customers was pretty happy by seeing this, and they agreed to migrate everything from Splunk to Google Chronicle. So we have reconnected all of the log sources and additional new log sources. Also, we have migrated all the content, like all the 202 rules they had in the environment, plus 100 of additional rules to cover newly connected log sources. So as a result, you may see by reducing the cost, we even succeeded to provide them more coverage because for the lower price, they could connect more log sources and they have more detections and their coverage is higher. Yeah, thank you. And the last case study I want to talk about today is detection driven by incident response. So we had an incident with one of our customers. So what actually happened is there was a vulnerable server, SAP NetWeaver, that led to file upload with a web shell code. This activity it was detected and blocked by the endpoint tool. Later, we have investigated what exactly happened. We have collected all of the IOCs, and also we have divided all of this activity in steps. And as a result of it, we have built 5 new detections You can see them on the right-hand side, each one to detect a specific step of this attack, how it was performed, and also, of course, we gave a recommendation to the customer to quickly patch this server, so this vulnerability will be closed as well.
Cool. Thank you very much, Vlad, for overviewing several case studies. Really appreciate it. And guys, as we wrap up this quick overview of our use case management service, from my side, I'd like to highlight what truly sets CyberProof apart from at least our vision from our competitors. So first, and maybe one of the most interesting, our UCM offering is integrated with CyberProof's continuous threat exposure management CTEM solution powered by Enterprise. As Vlad already explained, this provides enterprise level visibility into your threat exposure and the continuous risk scoring mechanism to track and improve your security posture over time. One. Second, we follow a transparent and agile UCM methodology. That interesting slide Vlad shared before, which means you can expect a structured, repeatable approach that's focused not just on effective detection, but also on cost optimization and operational efficiency. Another key differentiator from our perspective, at least, also covered briefly by Vlad, is our rules health check. Twice a year, we perform a comprehensive review of silent and ineffective rules. So your detection content doesn't lose value over time. And then we deliver advanced security correlation engineering, where our experts design custom detections and automation workflows specifically tailored to the complexity of your enterprise environment, whether you're running hybrid infrastructures, I don't know, multiple SIEMs, or advanced cloud platforms, or everything is on-prem, we have you covered. And finally, use case management is designed to work in synergy with the rest of CyberProof's advanced security services. It kind of integrates with our MDR, SOC, with threat intelligence, threat hunting, vulnerability management, and many other security services. So you get end-to-end security program rather than sort of disconnected tools and processes. So these are just a few of the reasons why organizations from different verticals, different industries, different sizes, different maturity level around the world trust CyberProof to elevate and develop their detection capabilities. And finally, let's look at the kind of tangible value and benefits our use case management service delivers to our customers. At the heart of our approach is the ability to elevate your cyber defense by becoming more proactive against evolving threats. Instead of reacting after the fact, UCM helps you stay ahead of those threats with continuously refined detection content. Another important outcome is the reduction in incident response time, meaning by optimizing the time it takes to detect and respond, you can contain threats faster and minimize your business impact. Next important value and mainly business outcome is standardization of content and procedures. It's also kind of from our perspective, quite a critical benefit. With our service, you get a holistic security framework and the solid content strategy that bring consistency to your detection and response processes across the entire organization. Um, Moving to the right side of the slide, UCM improves organization security posture visibility uh, by, of course, using CTAM tool powered by Interpress, so you can see exactly which risks are covered, where the gaps are, and how your detection capabilities are evolving over time. So you have a kind of a detailed, interesting, nice looking from our perspective report, which you can share with your board, with your peers, with your stakeholders, and so on and so forth. And then when we're talking about uh, cost reduction and optimization, again, use case management is vital there because we provide what really matters, right? For this set of use cases, we need this event IDs, and this is the telemetry we really need to make this effective in data ingestion, automation, and the elimination of redundant or outdated use cases. And finally, uh, UCM drives detection efficiency and efficacy, ensuring that your resources are focused on what matters most, reducing noise, improving fidelity, and supporting confident, fast decision making. So altogether, those kind of benefits deliver stronger cybersecurity results and more resilient and adaptive security posture. And again, to wrap it up, thank you very much for being with us. I suppose there should be a bunch of questions. I want to encourage you to ask questions if you're still with us online. There are a bunch of action items from our side. So first of all, there's a beautiful link on the screen, and maybe Unit will put it into the attachment as well, so you can read more and know more about the service on our website, cyberproof.com/UCM. Right?
These attachments should be at the bottom of your screen. So feel free to click them and download.
Thanks, Unit. And then also I want to address and kind of push your attention into a bunch of different interesting research publications we recently did. We're focusing on this action now a little bit more. We do think that kind of sharing different kind of findings, different kind of things we're observing on all our services at CyberProof with the bigger audiences, something really, really important. It's about security awareness. It's about sharing our kind of best practices and methodologies. So I want to encourage our audience to go to our website and read the recent blogs and recent research related publications. Again, all the other services are using on a daily basis. As Vlad explained, we are focusing on threat-led detection, and all this threat-led detection is mainly coming from the threat research we are doing, or our competitors are doing, or any other vendors are doing as well. And last but not least, from our side, as a giveaway, as Unit promised at the very, very beginning of this hour, if you're interested, if you want, you can apply for a detection rules review and MITRE mapping. And Vlad, I don't know whether you want to provide some more details. What will it bring? What is the value of this giveaway, and why we do think that you need to be the first 10 suitable applicants to apply for this kind of report and MITRE mapping report from CyberProof UCM team. Vlad?
Sure, Sergey. So the main idea behind this exercise is to review all of the existing detections you may have in your environment, map them with MITRE, and as I showed you before, we will show you what are the gaps, and also we will help you to prioritize and tell you what is the most important in terms of coverage, what you need to focus on in the upcoming quarter or a year. The most important gaps you have in your environment. That's the main idea of it. And of course, this MITRE mapping, this will stay with you. You can map it in your exact system by using the files we will provide to you. And also there will be a 30 minutes call with our expert who will explain you everything, so you can ask your questions, why this exactly should be prioritized for me, or why this is not prioritized. All of this will be part of this discussion.
Cool. For me, sounds a very interesting opportunity, guys. And you have to be in the first 10 applicants to to get qualified for this report, and then a 30 minutes conversation with the use case management expert. Uni, do we have any questions? I don't see anything. I don't know whether the audience is bored by
Yes.
our long speech, or maybe everything was completely clear and fine. If we
We did
don't have,
receive.
we do have.
We did receive. What is your detection rules testing and tuning methodology?
Interesting. I suppose Vlad almost replied, but if you can maybe specify a little bit more, I think the person who asked it will appreciate. So what is the first, like you talked about testing, so maybe you can a little bit focus on the tuning methodology.
Yeah, sure. So again, we can divide all of our rules to categories by how many alerts they triggering. First, we have a category of rules that always trigger true positive alerts. This is categories that we no need to perform any tuning. They are already good. We also have a category where we have always false positive detections. So this category is mostly covered by our proactive tuning activity. So when we have a dashboard, you remember I was talking about them, where we can see some specific entity which was triggered many times by many different rules. So most of such rules are covered by this dashboard, where we can proactively notice this. Also, our MDR team is analyzing all of the alerts, and in case they see something false positive, they come to us and say that this specific entity has to be whitelisted. Of course, they check with the customer whether it's really something that we should whitelist. When we have this confirmation, we perform the tuning. And finally, we have rules that never triggered anything, right? So for this one, we perform a health check. So we check whether the data exists. First, that it comes to the system. Second, it is in the right format, so it is parsed. Then we check in the logic of the rule and with filters that they do not filter something important out. And finally, we can perform the test using our test environment in Caldera to make sure that this rules really will trigger what it is supposed to trigger.
Cool. Thank you for this answer. I think you definitely answered the question. Guys, we don't have too much time left, and we don't want to waste everybody's time here. But we have a last poll, and you need it's your turn to announce the last poll for today.
Yes. So this is a final poll for you. As we near the end of our webinar today, we would love to know how we can follow up with you. So if you'd like to schedule a call to discuss use case management, or if you'd like to speak with a cybersecurity expert, the third option to apply for that giveaway that we're offering, the detection rules review and MITRE mapping, and the fourth option to just have us reach out to you. So please let us know how we can get in touch with you, and we'll just wait a few more seconds, and then we will wrap up.
Yep. So while we're waiting for your votes, and again, I always today appreciate the fact that you take some actions. It's important for us. At least this is the only way I see to engage with our audience. And once again, from my side, I want to thank you, uh, all, thank all of you who decided to join this webinar live. And really appreciate the fact if you will decide to watch it offline on demand when you have a little bit more time, maybe uh, before or after your important meetings. Um,
So I can
so
wrap up here as we're waiting for the polls to come in. Before we close today, I just want to do a quick recap of ways you can continue this conversation with us. So if you're interested in learning more, we'd be happy to set up a UCM strategy call with our use case management experts. And you can get a detection rules review and MITRE mapping. Apply at cyberproof.com/rules-review. And that link can be found in the attachments below. And on behalf of Sergey, Vlad, and the entire CyberProof team, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you're walking away with actionable insights and look forward to continuing this conversation. Have a great day and stay secure.
Unit, what a beautiful wrap up. I appreciate your moderation. It was a great pleasure doing it together, and
Thank you
hopefully
all.
not for the last time. Again, stay tuned. Look to all those links we shared, and again, be secured. It was a pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.